Yo guys, we're in the car, just about to visit the Rastafarian community in Kempton Park in Joburg. We've been invited in to hear what's going on. We're just about to arrive at the clinic right now. So we'll check you just now.
Peace, guys. We're here guys at clinic in Johannesburg, and we're with Rastaman. Thank you so much for being willing to show us some of your show us around firstly, and also we're going to first jump into the clinic and you're going to show us how to prepare a tea for some medicine, right? Yeah. A juice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
While you're busy working as well,
Yes,
how long you've been here
I've
for?
been doing, it is now a career, Makai. What I've been doing for years. They've changed it to be a career. They call it a CHW. They call it community health worker.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we work with the community. As you see, the community comes in the clinic, checking for medicine. I've been doing it for more than a decade.
Wow.
Because I started volunteering from 2009, just after my matric. And then I remember I was supposed to go to and register for the school. There's a friend of my sister just came in the morning, wanted to take my sister to this job, but my sister was not like interested. So I grew up having that thing to help people, you check. Yeah, and then I just came through volunteering all those years, yeah.
And you fell in love with it?
Yeah, man, yeah. Even though they didn't bless us with some cash, you check, I just do it out of love. Any other medicinal that is being invented, the ash, so powerful. I tell you, if you had a scar, maybe a cut or anything, just apply that ash. Within 3 days, Makai. Gone.
Amazing.
Very amazing. Very. Super quick, fast than any other medicine that was being invented. Makai. So you could just use one fruit. Can be orange or banana, or you can mix.
Nice.
There's anyone who's allergic to you guys?
No, let's go.
No, give us the full one.
Is still out there today, right?
Straight.
Yeah.
So we just gotta put the knowledge to the people, Makai.
Yeah.
We just gotta put the knowledge to the people and teach the people how to.
I mean, you've got proven results, over time.
True, Makai. I've been
So if
doing
you're a
it.
non-believer, the results make you believe.
Yeah, you check. They can even tell you the people are making it, like I've been there since, even during the COVID times, yeah.
Yes.
I've been there with them, fighting them, with them, yeah.
That's very special.
Most of them, yeah, I've helped them. They will tell you, they know me. They call me a master blender. So yeah, I could make you that smoothie that can just heat up your chest, if you have pain or what. I cannot say it's COVID or what's next, but it can help, Makai.
Yes.
It can really help. If you can go out, ask one of my colleagues, they will tell you that for sure.
Alright guys, so
Yeah.
the leaf, banana, oranges, very good for you. And delicious.
We're just about to find out with Rastaman. He's bringing us to one of the Rastas in the community, and we're going to find out the challenges that the Rastas are facing in the current market in the industry.
Yeah, we are at the Swazini market, going to visit one of the oldest brother there. We've been running the market since ancient of days. Here we are, kings.
Okay, my name is Lerato Covid, also known as Akale World. Most challenges that we find around the location is that most of the police will come and take your stock from you. If they take the money, you might have a chance that they can leave you. But if you don't have enough money, they'll take you and you'll be released by tomorrow morning. The case will be struck out of the roll.
Yeah. And the police get away with it as well.
Yeah, they get away. Sometimes they will take your help and take your money and get away. Sometimes they will take the money and leave you
Yeah.
with their help. So
And that money it's for family. You know, it's for putting food on the table.
that's the reason we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's bullshit. And the police, do they hand it into the police station or do they take it home and they
Most
smoke
of the
it?
police, they will take and sell it to some other dealers around.
To another dealer.
Yeah, that's a sector.
They distribute the stuff with
Yeah.
the guys, yeah.
Yeah, they completely take advantage.
So
Yeah.
they're coming for the easy targets.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
And
It's
what
like,
do you?
Since we got licensing, it's like difficult for us. You see.
Yeah, and I mean, and the stark contrast between the legal commercial farms coming up, and but the people who have been supporting the industry for generations. What are your feelings about that? My feeling is quite strong. The small guys getting punished still, but the large guys making money, and they did nothing towards the freedom of the plant. Do you
Same
agree
like the
with that?
pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pharmaceuticals always, and now they're trying to turn the ganja into a pharmaceutical.
So they
Straight up.
So what happens if you get bust? Then do you start again at square one,
Usually that's what happens. You don't have a choice.
and you have to get friends to bail you out, and yeah, it's bullshit. Is it? Are you finding it's getting better since the private purpose bill? Obviously, that was a long time ago. But if you've got 1 gram on you, are they still gonna take your weed? The police?
Yeah, I had some recent occasion in Pretoria last time around where like a police stopped us and he said like I look like a foreigner, so he had to search my bag and he found some weed and he's like, come on. I'm like, you can't do this. This is not like 1950 something. Or, you can't just stop me and say that. I was suspecting something, and he finds the weed and he takes the weed and he tells me, nah, I shouldn't find weed in your bag. And technically I should arrest you, but I'm like, why are you not arresting me then?
Yeah,
Like,
Because he knows if he takes you back to the station, they're gonna do it back all.
Yeah, because you're allowed to now transport, according to the private purposes, you're allowed to transport ganja in concealed. You weren't holding it open. It was concealed.
It's in your bag. Yeah.
So didn't give your ganja back. Yeah, so that was for him.
He invaded your privacy.
Yeah, usually when you ask for a warrant, they're like, oh, so you know it all, you know? So you read books. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, he wasn't happy that you knew your rights. Yeah.
As a South African citizen as well, by him taking your ganja from you, he violated your rights.
Yeah.
My
And
brother-
he committed a crime,
Yeah.
not you.
Yeah,
And that's
that's why
what
we
we
never
need to
get to
change.
court or we never get anywhere with
Exactly.
the cops.
Justice.
And
Yeah,
do
it
you
just ends
guys
up in the streets.
do you guys feel that the normal person on the ground knows their rights currently, or do you think there can be more education done on people?
I feel like law should be like general knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody's more like privileged and
Yeah.
they know their fundamental
And
rights.
you guys obviously spread the
Yeah,
you tell your people
yeah.
what they must know.
Yeah,
you
what
know?
they need to know. Yeah.
Exactly, because you allow ganja is now legal to consume in private,
Yeah.
or not legal, decriminalized
Yeah.
to consume in private.
Yeah.
And I think the police are still taking advantage of the fact that people don't fully know their rights. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah. Because they go to a dealer and they find the dealer with the drugs and they're like, oh, you're selling an illegal substance. But you know this isn't a private use. This person was in their private home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So technically, whatever you're saying, their customers, they might be all their friends, you know?
Yes.
Oh, my friends are supporting me to support my family. Can that be a
Yes.
problem? But yeah,
Yes.
they never really think about it like that.
Yes.
So that's basically you're utilizing the private club model,
Yeah.
which is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, you're not.
We're not
you're-
commercializing anything.
Yeah, the laws that they've or the legislation that they've put out for you,
Yeah.
you're following it.
Yeah.
Yet they're still targeting.
Yeah,
you,
they're still
and
targeting
They're still
us,
arresting you, and they're still saying that you're doing something wrong, which is scary. So,
Yeah. Right now in Joburg, if you still have dreadlocks, they'll stop you.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll stop you and search you like if you like, oh, those Rasta man who are like softer, they'll take everything from you.
Yes.
They'll take
So
everything
sad.
from you. Yeah. Police are like giving us a problem, especially the marijuana community, you know? Because especially like if you go around the hood right now, like there's so many drugs. Like you'd ask yourself, how did so many drugs get here? Like crystal meth, like you have your rocks, you have your nyaupes. But there's never a major pass for those drugs, you know? But they'll tell you there's always a major pass for like weed and stuff like that. You find that, oh, there was just somebody making money for their family and stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody will tell you, one leader told me that I took my kids to varsity with my money, So now people can't even do that anymore.
Yes. I mean, and then you look at it like that, the hard drugs are taking over, but it's the people who are supporting the natural plant that are suffering, and that makes no sense.
And people actually dying from these actual drugs,
Has anyone ever died from ganja?
No. They don't have record of that.
Many people have died from ganja, but from trying to make it so that we can heal ourselves with the plant. So
exactly.
They died for the cause, for us to push.
Straight up.
So people have died, but they've never died from consuming it.
No,
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
We need to make it out that the people must know
specify
that people have been hurt by trying to make it so that we can free our herb and free our medicine for our people, And that's sad. It's very sad.
So guys, if we here with our audience today, and we came here through today, Rastaman invited us. He's really obviously passionate about what's going on in the community. If you can tell me, if you want to just say something to our viewers, what do you feel, what do you want to say you'd like to see different? And if you're going to challenge, who you're going to challenge out there to make that difference?
Seriously, it's the legislature, the judges have to make sure that we get the legislation we need, because if they're making the legislation, they're just making the legislation for the pharmaceuticals right now. They're not really making it for the individuals. If they made it for the individuals, then everybody would benefit, but they're not making that. So if we can make it for everyone, and we don't really care about the pharmaceuticals, but this is our habits for everyone. So if everyone can enjoy it, that's all we want from it.
I mean, the pharmaceuticals will always be there, and they can do their thing.
They're always going to do their thing. We never against them, but now they're like fighting us.
But they're bringing us down, and they're using their money that they're making through
like all their force, all their lawyers and everything, all the millions they have to.
And I mean, the problem is the cops, and who's paying the cops? The
pharmaceuticals pay the cops. We all know that they pay the cops to make that dirty work.
Exactly. So the daily worker who's working hard is suffering, and on the larger scale, other people are not. And that's a stark contrast between and not a lot of people realize that is currently happening. If you're not involved in the plant, you don't understand. You don't
understand.
And do you have anything to say?
We say unjust law is no law at all. So this law against marijuana we won't take it as a law. Apartheid was an unjust law, and we fight it. Even this ganja law will fight it until it's legalized. Free marijuana.
Free marijuana. Sweet brother. Awesome. So we've just heard straight from some Rastas in the community who are on the ground every day, the problems that they're facing, and the problems that they're facing are similar across the board. People are still getting arrested by the police, even for a single gram, getting it confiscated. Wrongful searches. If you have dreadlocks, you're getting pulled over and your stuff's getting taken away, even if it's concealed. You're not consuming in public, and they're playing on the lack of education. And those problems across the board are important. The police need to be stopped, and the legislation needs to be looked at for the man on the ground who has been involved in cannabis for generations over these large pharmaceuticals coming in.
Stop focusing on ganja and start looking at things like the nayope and the rocks and the crystals. Like, get those off the streets, but not the ganja.
Why the ganja man's an easy target, but why are the other problems in the community not being taken more serious? It's because they're easy targets, and that's a bunch of bullshit in my opinion.
Policymakers, wake up.
Rastaman, tell me, where are we on the way to now, and who are we going to be meeting with next?
Yeah, we at my old we're going to meet the director of the board, and he's going to explain most of the things, the struggle, because the father has been there since day one, and the police started to
give problems.
Yes.
So we're meeting someone who's highly respected in the community.
True.
Yes.
Because even the police, they've arrested him and brutalized him. His video is also there in YouTube. He tried to spread out some message to the world that there's these police who are coming in his place, making his place upside down. They're getting in his mother's room. Yeah.
We're at our next stop, and we are on the tour today. And can you please introduce yourself for my listeners?
I am Thabo Makwela, Ras Thabo known. Ras is my title, Thabo is my name. one of the founding members of Marijuana Forum of South Africa, which is later to be known as Marijuana Advocacy Forum of South Africa, and one of the co-founding member of the Marijuana Board of South Africa, a director actually of Marijuana Board of South Africa. I give thanks.
Give thanks. So we've been asking some questions, and I think the main theme that's come up is the sort of the police. What are your thoughts on the way that the police are currently handling people who are on the ground with marijuana? Do you think they're being fair and the information is there, or do you think there's police abuse that's taking place?
Yeah, I think police abuse is taking place on a very serious note, and which is very much not fair. And it's also, what I've observed is that it's like they're being selective on who to target. They don't target anyone. You see, they just check maybe if you are rich or you are, and then if you are just an ordinary someone, they can just come and brutalize, especially when you don't know the law.
Yes.
You see, yes, they're taking advantage of that. And what I've also observed is that they themselves are not educated in terms of the law.
Yes, so they don't know the actual law. So it's a problem of the law being enforced and it coming down and the information filtering down. So the policeman on the ground doesn't know his rights. The person on the ground doesn't know the rights, and now the police is still abusing the person on the ground. Are arrests still happening for people for ganja, and are people going to prison? Or what's happening when people are getting arrested for ganja? And is it still happening now? Because we're sitting 3 years since decriminalization and we're still seeing abuse. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, I would agree that abuse is taking place because of, even right here, I won't say few months, I'll say last 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
They jumped, they come illegally as they used to. They would come and jump and want to rob you, ask you without any warrant to open so that they can take your cash and your ganja.
Yes.
You see, so that's.
And if you don't let them in?
And if they try to break at some stage.
Yes.
That's why you see
They've got their guns up, probably.
As you see, we're trying to fix the door there.
Yes.
It's the result of their works at some stage.
Yes.
It was which year? 2019, I think.
Yes.
They did that in October.
Yes.
They tried to force and come in there, but unfortunately they couldn't. We could fight with everything we have.
Yes.
To protect ourselves. Even last 2 weeks ago, they tried to open by force, threatening people that if they don't open, they will break and all that.
Yes.
But one of our members luckily came and addressed them and showed them. And imagine, they come with private roads, no card, they don't show you cards. Others are EMPDs, Metro Police.
What's the Metro doing?
Exactly my point.
Why is the Metro
This
police-
isn't the Joburg Metro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hang on a second. That's completely unfair.
Yes. Some people really do not know or understand their rights or how do this rights thing work. But others, even though they know their rights, we are aware of one thing. With the police, that they themselves do not know their rights, what are you expecting from them? If you try to tell them about your rights, for example, we are the Marijuana Board. When I tried to show them our certificate as Marijuana Board, I was moved for that. When I say, okay, guys, I don't deny now you have jumped fence. Let me show you how legal am I in as far as dealing with marijuana is it. They didn't give me that chance. Instead, I was beaten just to show them legal documents. So I would say people, some they know their rights, some they don't. And some they would, even if they know their rights, they would prefer not to act because of, they know that police, a lot of them are corrupt and they don't use law. So they use their own discretion. If they feel that they can victimize you, they will do it.
How's the Marijuana Council of South Africa planning on taking active steps for education, or what's the objective of the council?
Yes, of course, the body is intended, of course, and has prioritized public education because of that's where it starts. If people do not know what is rightfully theirs, criminals in the law, in the name of law enforcement, will continue what they are doing. People got to know their rights.
If you're going to put a challenge out to government, what do you want to see done different?
We've already, we've just started to challenge the government.
Yes. what are you saying?
The Marijuana Advocacy Forum, MAFOSA, has tried to engage the presidential office. That's one point. The second point, in alliance with the Rastafari community, we've just submitted the memorandum in protest against a mandatory vaccine and for total liberation of dacha or marijuana.
Yes.
Yes. So what more we'll be doing? Of course, we'll be engaging. We'll be using everything, and we'll leave no stone unturned.
Yes.
So that marijuana is fully legalized in this land, and we're not going to accept these partial laws, which comes and say this is hemp, this is what. We know this is one thing.
Yes.
One seed, one leaves. The difference is that the other is feminine, the other is masculine. So these laws that are gender-based segregative.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
it's a contradiction, my lord. In a sense,
Still keeps the separation. They're
Yes.
still pushing for
we
separation.
all agree as South African citizens as a country that gender-based violence is not good. But why now you impose it on plants? It's worse now.
Yes.
So we are challenging, and we've written, of course, the Department of Justice and Correction. We have written all stakeholder players. They've got their memorandum.
Yes, yes.
But the only thing is that they are not responding.
So they're not engaging back.
They're not engaging back. But we are happy that because of Yang Gauteng, fortunately, even the Department of Agriculture has agreed to be on board and even to recorrect the processes that they have just undergone at national.
And the Premier also seems interested in the green economy as well. It's
Yeah.
the Premier, David Makura.
Yes. They didn't follow the protocol. They didn't consult the communities of interest, including ourselves. They just imposed.
And all of a sudden it was dropped, the plan.
And as all of
just
a
out the
sudden,
blue.
you drop and say this is a plan. When we are there, we are the ones who know this thing. We are the ones who got arrested for this thing. We are the ones, especially the Rastafari community. I want to say they are the experts of cannabis. Because to them, it's not only a sacrament, but it is also a tree of life. When I say a tree of life, I mean economically, spiritually, medicinally, everything. Rastaman know ganja is a tree of life.
Yes.
We live with ganja. No ganja, no life for us.
Yes.
So it is a tree of life. We are experts in that. So if you come and say a man is okay, but a woman is not okay, we cannot agree with that. If you say hemp is okay, but marijuana or dacha or cannabis is not okay, then you come later and contradict yourself and say cannabis is one thing. There is a whole lot of controversy in this whole thing. What we are saying is that let them free cannabis, and we are here as the community to self-govern this industry, because there are role players like the Marijuana SA, as you are, like the Marijuana Advocacy Forum, like the Rasta Ganja Council, like the House of Hemp. All those people have to come together in one and reason. And one thing that I want to indicate, which is very, very important. You see, we're facing global warming. We're dealing with global warming. And what I can tell you is that marijuana in our research is a regenerator of minerals.
Yes.
The source of this problem is not only pollution, but is a huge greed exploitation of minerals, especially African minerals, especially gold. You see, gold is a metal that can be linked to the sun. So, a lot of gold has been exploited, has been mined more than. So, but where gold was mined and exploited, you plant marijuana, gold will regenerate. And gold, it has those powers. Gold to deal with the radiation of the sun, so that it can stimulate it, so that it can be friendly to the planet Earth. So, when you speak of green wealth, definitely marijuana must lead. Not only for the greening only, but to regenerate what is very, very essential for the sun, which is gold. So it is part of our program to say that in areas like your Soweto, your Crown Mines, where there was gold and there's been massive exploitation of gold, ganja must be planted.
To regenerate the earth.
To regenerate these minerals that are needed for our planet Earth.
Make the world green.
So, In closing, to our followers, is there anything you'd like to say?
I would tell them to let's work together as the people, as the cannabis community. What I can say is that the cannabis community or the marijuana community is the future. When you see if you can attend any gathering of the cannabis, you won't see racism. You won't see classism.
Yes.
You won't